These photographs are from a 1984 calendar put out by Peerless Rockville Historic Preservation Limited, which is a nonprofit corporation organized in 1974 to foster the preservation of buildings, structures, and spaces which contribute to the historic character of Rockville. Membership is open to all. Forest Avenue provides the setting for this mid-1890s photograph. 3 children of Edwin and Lucy Smith, who built 108 Forest Avenue in 1890, are in the picture. Although the street has since been paved, the house looks the same and members of the Smith family still lived there in 1984. The photograph is from a glass negative in Ann Adams' collection. Malcolm Walter photographed these electric linemen at work in the early 1930s. They are in front of 39 West Montgomery Avenue, constructed in 1881, and home to 3 generations of the Anderson family. In the background is 5 North Adams Street. Shown are 2 views of the north side of East Montgomery Avenue across from the red brick courthouse in 1984. The upper photograph, 1917, shows the Seco Theater, Hicks Store, and the Reisinger Building, which housed a bakery, lunchroom, and ice cream parlor. The 1966 photo below shows the same 3 buildings, which had been resurfaced with stucco. The photographer today would take a picture of the Rockville Mall. Photo courtesy of Charles Brewer. This is Baltimore Road at its intersection with the B&O Railroad tracks, looking northeast in 1911. The telegrapher's office was located in the tower at the left, and Rockville's first water tower is to the right. An accident here in 1935 involving a train and a school bus resulted in the crossing's closing and erection of a street bridge nearby. Photograph courtesy of Charles Brewer. Many fine tombstones in Montgomery County bear the name or initials of John Hagee, master marble worker. Hagee is shown in this pre-World War I photograph, seated at his desk in his establishment on East Montgomery Avenue, with George Weaver in the foreground. Photo courtesy of Charles Brewer. This is Rockville's main street, East Montgomery Avenue, looking east in 1931. On the courthouse lawn to the right are stones to be used in construction of the limestone courthouse. Overhead trolley lines are barely visible. Photographed by Harrison England from Charles Brewer's collection. In 1930, Montgomery County began to clear land for its new limestone courthouse. Buildings on the square block bounded by South Washington, East Montgomery, Court, and Jefferson Streets were moved or demolished to provide for the new construction. Photo by Malcolm Walter, official photographer for the courthouse construction. This is the Galilean Fisherman's Temple, Eureka Tabernacle number 29, which stood on North Washington Street, north of Wood Lane. This local chapter of the statewide organization provided insurance benefits, funeral expenses, and burial grounds, and social cooperation for Rockville's black population for many years. From a 1906 postcard in the collection of Rosie Wood. Long before the Rockville Fire Department as it exists today, 1984, was organized in 1921. Local black and white citizens rallied to help businessmen and homeowners in time of need. By 1930, when Malcolm White took the photograph, the RFD owned 2 modern fire engines and a building on South Perry Street. Pictured are Dick Disney, Dutch Anders, Slum Ledan, Skiddy Mason, Dr. Wilson, Bill Burroughs, Val Wilson Sr., and Mr. Watkins. In the early part of the 20th century, trolley cars made Rockville more accessible to Washington, D.C. These old photographs, both of which were taken before World War I, came from the collection of Lewis Reed via Charles Brewer. The large photo looks north from where the line went southwest of the Rockville Pike at Montrose. Most of the cars serving Rockville were numbered in the 590 series. In 1908, the First Baptist Church moved from South Van Buren Street into this new structure on South Washington Street, across from the courthouse. The building and lot cost $19,000. In 1928, Malcolm Walter photographed the church and parsonage. The congregation moved in 1971, and both buildings were demolished in 1974. This grand home at 300 West Montgomery Avenue was constructed in 1889 for Commander Kellogg by master builder Edwin West. The original structure burned about 1897 and was rebuilt a few years later, as shown here. The Prescott family lived here for many years before W.R. Pumphrey purchased the property in 1930. Major renovations were made in 1961. 1930 photograph by Malcolm Walter. This is St. Mary's Church and Cemetery before 1930. Constructed in 1817, St. Mary's is the oldest brick Catholic church in Montgomery County. Extensive interior and exterior renovation in 1873 altered the front with turrets, wooden entrance vestibule, stained glass window, and battlements. In 1930, another major renovation replaced the vestibule with one of brick, removed the grillwork, and planted shrubbery. A major church effort in 1982-83 has resulted in a beautifully refurbished and daily use of the chapel. Photograph by Malcolm Walter. The circuit court staff posed for Malcolm Walter on the lawn of the red brick courthouse in 1927. From left to right, they are Elizabeth Verts Woodfield, Ella Umstead, Margaret Shearer, Deputy Clerk, Edna Chiswell Pumphrey, Josie Wooten, Ruth Goody, Louise Thompson Harding, Dorothy Magruder Ferguson, Mary England Ward, Helen Kirkland, Naomi Bogley Young, and Marjorie Burdett Nicholson.